Okay, let's dive right into this explainer because we really need to address this massive rumor floating around the dev community. A lot of folks thought Google Antigravity was just abandoned, but the reality? It's actually been quietly forged into the core engine powering Google AI Studio. So no, we're not looking at a dead project here. We're looking at something that's been seriously hardened in the background for actual professional workflows.
There's a quote from our source that really hits the nail on the head for this whole situation. Permission control is the difference between a fun demo and something you can use on a real project. I mean, think about it. For the past year, we've seen so many of these AI agents that look phenomenal in a quick demo, right? But then they absolutely fall apart, or worse, obliterate your entire codebase when you unleash them in a real production environment. Today, we're tracking that exact transition from chaotic AI experiments to highly guarded, production-ready developer tools.
So here's exactly what we're going to cover today to see how they made this agent viable. We've got 1. The quiet evolution. 2. Strict mode and safety. 3. Browser controls and security. 4. MCP servers and skills. And finally, 5. Developer quality of life. Let's get right into it.
All right, Section 1. The quiet evolution, building the guardrails. Over the last few months, Antigravity, which by the way is now officially merged with Jules, has basically spent its time evolving completely under the radar.
If you trace the recent changelogs, you start to see a really clear strategy emerge. They haven't been pushing these flashing marketing updates or, massive UI redesigns. Instead, they're shipping the serious, kind of boring plumbing that makes an agent tool actually usable. In February and March, we saw Mac and Linux terminal sandboxing added. Then April brought unified permissions and some absolutely crucial bug fixes. So you're really seeing the timeline of a product actively building out its foundation.
Moving on to Section 2. Strict mode and safety, or taming autonomy. Let's tackle the biggest fear for literally any professional developer out there. An autonomous AI deciding it knows best, going totally rogue in your terminal, and deciding your production database would look a whole lot better as an empty directory.
To stop that, we have strict mode. Previously known as secure mode, this is basically your ultimate failsafe. When you toggle this setting on, it guarantees that you remain the final checkpoint. The agent simply cannot act on its own to run targeted exploits or modify core systems without explicitly pausing and asking for your human review. It is the ultimate boundary setter.
They've really cast some robust safety nets over the entire environment here. First, there's a unified agent permission system and terminal command auto-execution blocking, which means absolutely no rogue scripts running while you step away to grab a coffee. We've also got robust sandboxing across both Mac OS and Linux, keeping the agent totally isolated. Oh, and they finally patched a genuinely terrifying bug where asking the agent to revert a deleted file could actually result in it deleting your newly edited files instead. Yikes. But honestly, when we say the platform feels safer now, it's precisely because of foundational trust fixes like these.
Okay, Section 3. Browser controls and security, web guardrails. Now, an agent obviously needs the web for knowledge gathering and validation. But giving an AI full, unfettered browser access, that's a massive security risk.
There's a very direct trade-off between maximizing the agent's web autonomy and exposing your local environment to security exploits. But now you have total control over the JavaScript execution policy. You can disable it entirely for zero exposure. It literally never runs JS code. You can set it to request review for a more controlled approach where it stops to ask you first. Or, if you really need the agent to perform complex validations autonomously, you can choose Always Proceed. Just be acutely aware that this carries the highest security exposure.
But it doesn't stop at JS toggles. You can now define strict boundaries using browser URL allow lists, restricting the agent to specific domains or full URLs. For enterprise or proprietary environments, this is a total game changer. It ensures the agent only accesses approved documentation or specific internal endpoints. It actually respects the exact boundaries you draw.
Let's jump to Section 4, MCP servers and skills, advanced workflows. Now that we've established those defensive guardrails, let's see how this all builds into powerful, extensible workflows for advanced developers.
Integrating custom tools has become a totally seamless, built-in process. Step 1, you just add a local directory for automatic skill discovery. Step 2, you can easily integrate third-party skills, so stuff you use in Claude or OpenCode easily syncs up here. And Step 3, you can connect directly to Google-related Model Context Protocol or MCP servers right from the custom UI.
And you can tell the team is taking this seriously. Take a look at the April 16th update. Their main focus was fixing a bug where MCP servers just weren't loading.
Google knows that if the model context protocol is broken, your external tools and servers are basically useless. They're actively prioritizing core plumbing over flashy features, which is exactly what we need.
Finally, we arrive at Section 5, Developer Quality of Life, focusing on day-to-day usability. Because let's be real, guardrails are absolutely crucial, but the tool still needs to be intuitive and actually pleasant to live in for 8 hours a day.
4. That single number represents a massive quality of life upgrade when it comes to model rate limits. Antigravity now offers a 4-hour refresh cycle for these limits, bringing a whole new level of quota transparency. You can clearly see the limits for every single model, and this transparency is fully available even if you're just on the free tier.
The day-to-day experience is just so much more polished now. Alongside the transparent rate limits, you have a dedicated toggle changes pane so you can review an entire session at a glance. They've added seamless project folder switching, and if you're on Linux, you can even configure custom local providers like Llama. Add in the new code highlighting, an interactive comment-to-fix review workflow, and fixing basic stuff like up and down arrow input history navigation. It's a huge step up.
So, putting this all into perspective, anti-gravity is definitely still quietly hardening and trying to catch up to the highly innovative manager features of competitor tools like Verdant. Verdant has been pushing out entirely new management paradigms, so anti-gravity can sometimes feel a bit like it's wearing older UI clothing. But what it lacks in pure innovation right now, it completely makes up for by transforming into a deeply serious, closely guarded environment.
I want to leave you with this final thought as we wrap up this explainer. Now that the core plumbing is fixed, the terminal sandboxing is active, and those strict safety guardrails are finally in place, is your code base ready for an AI agent that actually respects your boundaries? It might just be time to give anti-gravity a second look for your real-world projects.